Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Atma Occult, where we compile useful information from classical occult traditions to help you get more out of life.
If you are new to our channel or have not yet subscribed, please do so. It really helps us out. And hit that bell so you never miss a video from us.
Today we have a very quick and special tip for you if you have your lagna lord in the 12th house. That means the planet which rules your ascendant sign has gone into the 12th house of your birth chart.
And if you're not sure if you have a lagna lord in the 12th house, or who is your lagna lord, or what's your lagna,
or what that even means.
Which also lagna means ascendant,
yes.
Your ascendant sign. So we have a free birth chart calculator on our website. You can find our website
atmaoccult.com. It's in the description below.
Yep, and you'll see it at the end of the video, so check it out. And all you have to do is plug in some information. You'll get your Vedic birth chart, and you'll be able to see where all your planets are and what signs, and it'll help you learn and follow along with us. So anyway...
So really quickly, just to clarify and maybe help, if you do know your birth chart or kind of have it in your mind, for an Aries ascendant, this is going to mean that the planet Mars is in Pisces.
Why would that be?
Because Mars is the planet which rules the sign of Aries, and Pisces is the 12th house of the birth chart of an Aries. So that would mean that Mars went into Pisces.
Yes.
For a Taurus ascendant, it would mean that Venus is in Aries. Because
Venus is the ruler of Taurus. So that's the lagna lord. So if your lagna is Taurus, which is the sign of your first house or ascendant, that means Venus is your lagna lord, or the ruler of your lagna.
Yep. So for Gemini, that would mean that Mercury would be in Taurus. And for the rest of the ascendants, it would be, for Cancer, it would be the moon in Gemini. For Leo, it would be the sun in Cancer. For Virgo, it would be Mercury in Leo. For Libra, it would be Venus in Virgo. For Scorpio, it would be Mars in Libra. For Sagittarius, it would be Jupiter in Scorpio. For Capricorn, it would be Saturn in Sagittarius. For Aquarius, you would have Saturn in Capricorn. And for Pisces, you would have Jupiter in Aquarius, if you have the lagna lord in the 12th house. So that's the only 12 ways that can happen.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about the 12th house.
Well, first I was going to say kind of the lagna lord. Because your ascendant sign, which your ascendant is the sign that is rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth, the exact moment of your birth. That's how your ascendant sign is calculated.
Yep.
And for anyone that knows anything about Western astrology, or even if you don't know anything about Western astrology, this is where typically you always associate with your sun sign, and it's, you get that month range of dates, and you're like, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a Leo, and it's like a whole month. So
in Vedic astrology, the sun sign is still something, because the sun is going to be in some sign, but it's not given as much importance as it is in modern Western pop astrology.
Yes.
And I actually, in real Western astrology, I don't even know if the sun sign is that important, because I know they look at the whole birth chart as well.
They do.
So that might just really be like a newspaper or horoscopes kind of thing.
Yes, which we're going to try to pry you away and understand, just because the Vedic astrology is so incredibly beautiful how it all works out and makes sense. So I think you'll really, really like it. If you're not yet convinced, just keep with us. But anyway, so your lagna or ascendant sign is kind of the overview of like your life.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of the most important, one of the most important things
Yes.
in Vedic astrology is that sign.
is that sign. So the sign at the moment of your birth on the eastern horizon, or it'll
Yes.
be in your first house.
Yeah.
So that kind of represents your entire birth chart, and from there is where you get the rest of your
Yeah.
the planets in certain houses and placements, so that it sets up your birth chart. So
And to help you understand the meaning of the word lagna, you could almost, it is a Sanskrit word, but you could almost think of it as connected to the Latin word ligature, which is like something connecting to something or bound to something. And so when the zodiac is rotating in the sky, and then at that exact moment you're born, it's like the sign that was on the eastern horizon gets stuck right there. Just that's now your lagna. That's attached to you.
yes.
So first, very briefly, every sign is going to be ruled by a particular planet, and the ruler of the ascendant is going to be almost like your chart ruler, or the ruler of your whole life. It's like the planet which has the most influence over your whole life path. So when that planet goes anywhere, the nature of the house to which it has gone is going to color your experience of life overall. Like throughout your whole life, the nature of this particular house will kind of manifest itself in your life. So when it goes to the 12th house, there are a lot of significations regarding the 12th house. And one of those is privacy. Privacy, spirituality, escapism, going to another dimension, dreams,
Sleep.
yeah. But what this video's tip is for is when you have the Lagna Lord going into the 12th house, there is something that kind of happens with people that have this in their chart, and it's that you need privacy. You need to be able to go into your dwelling or your place where you are and close the doors and not have people coming in, prying into the details of your life, trying to get gossip, trying to figure out like what's going on in your life, asking you all these questions, and kind of violating that privacy. When you have the Lagna Lord in the 12th house, you have to have privacy.
Yes. You're going to feel very uneasy if it's something you do not have. So the 12th house also represents isolation.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, so that's kind of where this connection is coming from. But of course, that doesn't mean if you have the Lagna Lord in the 12th house, you should isolate yourself from the world or anybody.
No. But you should not feel self-conscious about that need for a little bit of isolation.
Right.
Because one of the things that we've seen playing out as a pattern with this particular placement is that the person will kind of like almost like be a homebody, or almost maybe even be like on the couch or in the bed like all the time. And that doesn't mean that they're not being productive. Because, I mean, in the 21st century, like, a lot of things can happen from your couch or your bed or from the privacy of your own home.
With phones and computers, you can do almost anything.
And it doesn't mean also that you're being nefarious or doing, like, bad things. But what other people will see and kind of push on you is they'll see they don't have Lagna Lord in the 12th house, so they have a different life. And so they'll see, like, oh, that person's like, you just always want to be like at home. You're like a lump.
Or they'll think you're antisocial.
Yeah. And for you have to, they can't tell you that. You have to have your time to kind of like recuperate and balance yourself out. That's why you need that privacy. Because if people come in and they coerce you into letting them violate your privacy all the time, or forcing you out of the house all the time, well, you're going to be trying to live outside of your birth chart, and that's not really possible. So you have to find a way to have that and work with what your planetary position is and what it wants you to express in your life.
Yes, and the amazing thing with Vedic astrology is because everything just really clicks and makes sense, the more you can understand what things mean in your chart, or of course in someone else's chart if you're ever becoming an astrologer or interested in that. It's really just to make the best out of your own life and your own situation. It can help guide you. So
maximize your potential.
Yeah, and maybe just understand, oh, okay, wow, so no wonder I have the lagna lord in the 12th house. That makes sense that I kind of like to be a homebody.
Yeah.
I need my privacy. I need my alone time.
Yep.
So it's really important. This helps you understand yourself, and then you don't have to be like, oh, something's wrong with me. No, that's just who you are.
That's who you are.
And you have to be who you are. And other people love to judge, and especially if they are different or they have a different birth chart that affects them differently.
Yeah.
And that's just where we all have to kind of just.
And that might be might be one of the reasons why the 12th house, has some negative connotations to it, the 6th, 8th, and 12th house. And in this placement, we're seeing it not as much of a negative. Of course, there can be negatives depending on the position. But one of the negatives of this can just be that other people aren't going to understand it. Other people are going to kind of like think you're in the 12th house, and they don't like that.
Right.
So,
and then at the same time, like, understanding yourself is going to be really helpful, but also knowing those pitfalls, okay? So knowing that you tend to maybe be a homebody, or you like to be maybe isolate or be in the bed, just be aware. So if you're new, please subscribe. Check us out with any new videos. Hit that bell.
Yep.
And thanks for watching. And
this was our video on Lagna Lord in the 12th house. Let yourself be agoraphobic. Let yourself have privacy. Let yourself make a nest and do everything.
Tell
from
everyone
there.
else to.
And don't let anyone tell you not to. All right. Watch all of our other videos.
Thanks. See you soon.
Bye.